Hello everyone, welcome back to GametechUK. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing and taking a look around the Tpr Quadrant Throttle from Thrustmaster. I'm also going to be showing you in detail my flight setup. So let's get on with today's video. So first out the box is the accessories. You get a USB-C cable. We've got some more accessories here for expanding the unit, which I'll show you in a second, by adding more quadrants. We also, if you are going to add more quadrants, you actually get some stickers to number your engines 1 to 4. Then we get to the unit itself, branded Airbus blue with the Airbus logo across the front there, and of course you've got Thrustmaster logo as well. These little on and off switches for your engines, this is where you're going to put your stickers. So if you're just having the one unit, you'll put 1 and 2, and obviously if you're having a second unit, you'll put 3 and 4. With that expansion in mind, you've got a switch here just at the front. So again, single unit you would leave on 1 and 2. Your second unit you would put 3 and 4. The front of the throttle sees a selection of buttons, those that I showed you a second ago, with the engines off and on for each engine. You've got the mode selector as well, turning to crank or ignition start. These also look like lights, but they're not, they're actually button presses. So moving on to the throttle, the real star of the show, and probably the reason you're attracted to even thinking of purchasing this, because this is the real immersion part of the actual joystick. This is made up of Thrustmaster's heart technology, meaning that it's magnetic sensors, so it's not going to wear out and become less sensitive over time. Also, this throttle range that we've got here, it can read 65,000 different positions, so this really is an analog throttle. Just like the real Airbus, this has got indent systems as well. So this is the full back position. Then you can slide it forward and you can feel the throttle sort of rest and sort of semi-lock into the first indent. Then you push it forward again. You've got a second one and then push it all the way forward. Just like the real aircraft, you've got reverse thrust as well. The way to access that once the throttle system is all the way back is just to lift up this lever and you'll gain access to the rear thrust. The same can be done for the other one. Of course, you could do them simultaneously by lifting them both up and moving them both back. You can access the full range of the throttle if you was going to fly a different aircraft by locking in the reverse thrust button. So now it's up all the time, meaning that we can get full range on the throttle. The base of the unit is made from aluminium. You've got a couple of mounting brackets that you can screw from underneath the unit, just there and there. Although it is quite a wide unit with 6 rubber feet, so probably on most surfaces this won't move and it will stay solid. You've got a couple of sockets here for connecting the side units if you're going to add extra quadrants. Also, if you didn't want that indent system, if you was flying another aircraft entirely, you can simply unscrew these 4 screws here, take that out, and you won't feel that indent system on the throttle. On the very front of the unit, you'll have your USB-C connector, also a resistor screw. Turn that all the way up, you'll get a little bit more resistance on the throttle range. On the other side, you've got if you've got the T-Flight rudder pedals, you can plug them directly into this unit, saving your PC another USB socket. The unit itself is about 12 inches long. It's only 2.5 pounds in weight, and I think really if you look inside you can see there isn't a huge amount going on there, and probably why they added the aluminium base. It's certainly not heavy, but it's not feather light, and it will sit on your desk and not move about. The paint finish is lovely, the branding is nice, it looks immersive, I like the shape of it. And don't forget, this is fairly budget really. I mean, on the Thrustmaster website this is £80. Now in terms of flight sim equipment, that is dirt cheap, and I think for what you're paying you're actually getting something quite cool. The thing really being picky, the only thing I don't like about it is the way that if you press the side buttons you can see that the throttles move together, but that's just being picky. Most of the use here will be absolutely fantastic, and like I say, at £80 I think that's a snip in terms of flight sim equipment. So let's get this set up on the rig. So here is my flight setup. Starting with a monitor, I've got a ViewSonic 32-inch 2K monitor. My graphics card is getting a little bit older now, and I thought rather than 4K, I'm going to go 2K on the flight rig, get a little bit more headroom, but it absolutely looks lovely in 2K. Below that, I've got a 15-inch LEPO IPS monitor. Now, this monitor is USB-C powered, so you don't need any power for this. So it's nice and bright. It's ideal for reading chat. I'll put a little bracket behind it so it positions itself up towards me, so it's nice and easy to read chat. Then we have the Thrustmaster Tpr Pedals. This is an amazing bit of kit. Flight sim equipment like this is just absolutely fantastic. It's actually really comfortable to rest your feet on there as well. It really feels part of my setup now. Admittedly, probably overkill for my level in flight sim, but I love it. It looks great. I know it's going to last me for absolutely years. Next up is the seat and the brackets for the HOTAS. Now, the seat is GT Amiga, the base is GT Amiga, and the side brackets and mounting panels are all GT Amiga. I will put a link in the description. This is actually the rear end of a racing simulator, but by taking the front panel off and by purchasing the side panels to bolt on, it can very quickly become a flight setup. So that's what I use for the seating. Then we have the base. This is just something I like to do. I've also done it on my racing rig as well. It's not very cost effective. By the time you buy the wood and the metal to go on top, it is, I suppose, a bit of a waste of money. I love the LEDs below it, and it gives it that height that you can put the LEDs on there as well, and of course change colour. But it really designates it, certainly in my gaming room, it gives it that sort of a podium look where that area is just for your racing setup or that area is just for your flight setup. I think it looks good in the room, and it's just something that I like to do. Sitting at a rig playing flight sim, you're going to need access to your keyboard and mouse. I purchased this Next Level Racing keyboard and mouse stand. I think they predominantly sell it for sim racing, but I've bolted it down here, as I have done actually with the TPR pedals. That is one good thing about the metal base. I can really screw everything down. So the pedals, the Next Level keyboard and mouse bracket, and the chair, everything is solid, nothing's moving, and it's all in position. So here's what the flight setup looks like with the throttle quadrant and the side stick installed. The throttle quadrant I haven't had to stick down in any way. That's got the rubber feet on there. Obviously with the side stick you're going to be moving that about a little bit more, so I put a little sticky pad under there. That seems to be absolutely solid. One important thing to note is that both of these joysticks are ambidextrous, so it doesn't matter if you're left or right handed. If you prefer the throttle on the right, both of these items can be used either way. The first thing to do is to update the firmware. That's always important, and of course update Microsoft Flight Sim. And in the very latest version, both of these devices are fully seen in the menu. Plug and play, they absolutely work perfectly. Looking at it on screen, actually the throttle and the stick are ran the wrong way. I'm so used to having my stick on the right hand side, maybe I will swap that. But you can see there's the stick working and the animation working perfectly. Here's the throttle all up to the detents as well. Works absolutely spot on. The engine button switches, that all works, and the mode button as well. I mean, it's very, very immersive to look down in something like an Airbus and actually see the controls that are on screen and have them working in the correct manner. It really does add to that realism. I'm not going to include any gameplay in today's video because I want to keep it short, sweet, and about the hardware and about my flight setup. But of course I will be popping up with a stream very, very shortly and using this fantastic hardware. I would love to know in the comments section below. Tell me what you think of the throttle, the stick, and indeed the flight setup as well. If there's any hints or tips, anything that I'm missing, please let me know in the comments section below. But that is it, everyone. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one.